Hello friends, today let us try to solve the LPP problems uh, using graphical methods. So let us see the problem. So, in the problem it will be given like solve the following LPP by graphical method. Minimize z is equal to 2x1 plus 10x2 subject to the constraints x1 plus x2 less than equal to 40, second constraint, and the third constraint, and the non-negativity constraint x1 x2 greater than 0. Now let us understand how to solve this problem. Okay, so we have seen what was the given in the problem. Solution. Now the first step what we need to do here by solving the linear programming problems by graphical method, we need to convert these sub-constraint inequations into equalities. Now, what are inequations? Inequations is these are not equal to signs here. They're less than equal to, greater than equal to, greater than equal to. We need to convert them into equal to equations. Okay. So once we convert inequalities into equalities, we'll be able to get the coordinates to put a graph here. Before we put a graph, we need the coordinates of x1 and x2. So let us try to pick one by one. Now this is the first equation. Now the first equation, that is x1 plus 2x2, it is less than or equal to 40. What we are going to write here is, we are going to replace this equation. We are going to take this equation and replace this less than or equal to into equal to sign. Okay, let us see how to do it. This is the first step, that is x1 plus 2x2. Instead of writing less than or equal to, we will write it as equal to 40. Now, what's the next step what we have to do? If x1 is equal to 0, if we put x1 as 0, what will be x2? If x1 is 0, this becomes 0. x2 is equal to 2x2 is equal to 40. Okay. x2 will be 40 divided by 2. And write in a simpler way, step by step. Here it is 2x2 is equal to 40. Therefore, x2 is equal to 40 divided by 2. So 2 ones are 20. So x2 is equal to 20. Now if x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 20. We got the first coordinate here. That is, if x1 is equal to 0, x2 is 20. Okay. Similarly, in the same equation, if we put x2 is equal to 0, x1, this becomes 0, x1 will be directly be equal to 40. The second coordinate what we got here is x1 is equal to 40, x2 is 0. So we got, first what we need to do is, first we need to put x1 is equal to 0, we will get x2 something. Secondly, what we have to do is, we have to put x2 is equal to 0 and we will get x1 coordinate. Now, for this particular equation, we have got two coordinates, that is 0 and 20. By putting x1 is equal to 0, we got x2 as 20, and by putting x2 as 0, we got x1 as 40. Now these two coordinates are for this particular equation. Similarly, we have to do such an exercise for this equation and this equation. Now here I'll explain. If we put x1 as 0, x2 will be 30. Now if we put x2 as 0, x1 will be equal to, x1 is equal to 30 divided by 3, that is 10. So in this way we have to solve it and get the coordinates for each equation. So I'll directly write the coordinates for every equation now. So for equation number 1, we got the coordinates, that is 0, 20 and 40, 0. These are the coordinates what we got just now. For the second equation, if we solve it in a similar way, we will get 0, 30 and 10, 0. For the third equation, we will get 0, 20 and 15, 0. If we solve all these three constraints in that way. Okay? Now, non-negativity constraints are always there. x1 and x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. Now, for these three coordinates, three equations coordinates, we need to plot a graph. Here we'll plot a graph and we'll see how it goes. We need to have two axes, x1 and an x2 together. Okay? Now, let me take this graph this way. This is x1 and this is x2. Now the maximum coordinates what we have is 40 and this is 30 here in x1, x2 and on x1 we have 40. So I'll take like this, 10, 20, 30 and 40 here. Similarly, 10, 20, 30 and 40 here. Okay? Now this is x1, x2, here also it is x1, x2. Now, when x1 is 0, here is x1, when x1 is 0, x2 is 20. x2 is 20 is here. Okay? For the first one. Now, when x2 is 0, this is x2 and this is 0, x1 is 40. So, from 20 to 40 we need to draw a line. So, from 20 to 40 we need to draw a line like this. Now, this line is for equation 1. Similarly, if x1 is 0, x2 is 30, x2 is 30. If x2 is 0, x1 is 10. So, from 30 to 10, we need to draw a line. Yeah. Okay? So, similarly, when x1 is 0, x2 is 20. When x2 is 0, x1 is 15. So, it's here. So, 20 to 15, we need to draw a line like this. Okay? So, these are the lines. So, this is for the second equation and this is for the third equation. This line is for the second equation. Now, what you have to do is, we need to find out the feasible region. In this graph, we need to find out the feasible region. Now, how to find out the feasible region? Now, let us come back to these constraints. Now, here the constraint is, for the first equation, it is less than equal to sign. This is the line for the first equation, this one. Now, here, if it is less than, so the feasible region lies below this region. Okay? And the second equation says that the feasible region lies above this equation. So for the second equation, it is above. You can see. And the third equation also it says it is above. Now this will be the direction. This is the above and this is the below direction. Now why it is so? Why it is called above? Because see here, one thing you have to say, non-negativity constraint. X1 is always greater than, means the feasible region, according to non-negativity constraint, the feasible region lies in this region only, above. So for X1, it is above. The feasible region will not lie below X1. So that's the meaning. So if we see X2 is greater than or equal to 0, that means the feasible region lies here. It does not lie here. It is not here or here. Never. It will not be here also. So feasible region always lies in this quadrant only, according to X1 and X2 non-negativity constraints. So according to this, now a feasible region is a region which will satisfy all the equations. Now if we see, the feasible region lies below this region, above this line and above this line. The common area for all the three equations, also it cannot go, the common region for the three equations is this area. If this area cannot go downwards because X1 is greater than or equal to 0. So the feasible region cannot go below X1. So it ends here. So this is the feasible region. Now we have to, there are 4 points of the feasible region area. Okay, we need to name them. The first point you can say it as A, second point you can name it as B, the third point we can name it as C, and the fourth point we can name it as D. This is A, B, C and D. Now the next process what we need to follow is, we need to find the coordinates for A, B, C and D. So to find out that, I'll rub whatever I have written in this thing, because it is no longer required by us as of now. Okay. So the coordinates for A is, X1 is 0 here, X2 is 0 because it's on the line. X1 is 15. So for coordinates for A is 15, 0. Similarly, the coordinates for B is, here X2 is 0, X1 is 40. So it is 40 and 0 for B. Similarly for C, how to find out C? Because C is not on these X1 and X2 lines. So what you have to do is, you have to draw a perpendicular line from C to this line. Now if you draw a perpendicular line to this line, now maybe this is 4, and if you draw a line here, this is 18. Okay, X1 is 4 and X2 is 18. So you can take X1 as 4 and X2 as 18. Similarly for D, if you draw a perpendicular line there, you will get it maybe as 6, and here if you draw a line, maybe it is 12. So 6 and 12. Here you have got the coordinates for this feasible region. Now we need to find out whether the cost, now we have got X1 and X2s here. This is X1 and X2s here. Now we have 4 different possibilities of production. Now either we can go with A, we can produce 15 numbers of X1 and 0 numbers of X2, we need to see how much is the cost. Similarly, go for 40 numbers of x1 and 0 x2, 4 number of x1 or 18 x2, 6 x1 or 12 x2. Now, amongst these 4 lies the answer. We need to see out of all these 4, which coordinate has got the minimum value, because we are trying to minimize z here, minimize the cost. We can reduce it in such a way that the cost will be lesser. So to find out that, I'll just remove this graph here. So what we have to do is substitute this feasible region into the objective function, that is z is equal to 20x1 plus 10x2. This is the objective function. So I'm taking this objective function. So we are trying to basically minimize the objective function. So we have to take the minimum most value amongst these 4. Let's take for the first one, A. If I substitute 15 and 0 in this thing, it will become z is equal to 20 into 15 plus 10 into 0. Therefore, it is equal to 20 into 15 will be equal to 300 plus 0. Therefore, z is equal to 300. Okay. Now, for B, if you substitute 40 and 0 in this, z is equal to 20 into 40 plus 10 into 0, you will get z as 800. Similarly, if you go for C, z is equal to 20 into 4 plus 10 into 18, you will get the value as 260. Now the last one, for D, z is equal to 20 into 6 plus 10 into 12 will give you 240. Now you have got different values for A, B, C and D coordinates. Now you need to see, because since it is a minimization problem, which of these coordinates are given the minimum most problem. A has given 300, B has given 800, C has given 260, D has given 240. The least among these is 240. Hence, we have to go with the answer D here. That means that the optimal, therefore, the optimal solution is D. And since the minimum value of Z occurs at D, that is D612, therefore the optimal solution is x1 should be 6 and x1, x2 should be 12. Okay, this is your answer. This is your answer. You are trying to do all this problem all to find out how many number of x1s you need to produce or to purchase, or to produce, or how many number of x2 you need to produce or purchase. Since it's a minimization problem, definitely you are trying to purchase something or keep the production at the low cost. You are trying to produce in such a way that you are trying to keep the cost minimum. So that's why x1 is equal to 6 and x2 is equal to 12. This is the answer. Yeah. So we'll see the next problem in the next video. Bye for now.